The Careless Landlord. Once there lived an extremely rich landlord. He possessed much land, many forests, and large mansions. Many people bent their backs working for him. Peasants plowed his land, shepherds took care of his sheep, and herdsmen watched his cattle. All he had to do was to enjoy life. When he saw that kings had to go to wars, officials had to go collecting taxes, judges had to conduct trials, priests and monks had to go to church to pray, he became even more swollen-headed. One day he wrote on his gate, "Carefree Landlord." Shortly after that, the king passed by with his army, read the inscription, summoned the landlord, and asked him, "What is your name, sir?"
"My name, your majesty, is no concern of yours."
"Why not?"
"Because, your majesty, you have great troubles in gathering the army and waging wars, while I have no troubles and no responsibilities, and don't want any."
The king was a very envious person. He thought, "Why, am I not the king here? I will make this landlord know just what trouble and care are." He told the landlord, "You have not known any troubles and cares up till now, but from now on you'll know them well enough. In 3 days you must come to my palace and answer these 4 questions. How many guests did I have at my wedding party? What is the distance between the earth and the sky? What is the distance from one end of the earth to the other one? And what am I thinking about?" If in 3 days you do not come to the palace with the right answers, you will have your head chopped off. That did indeed cause the landlord a lot of troubles and care. He did not know what to do, and he had nobody to advise him. 3 days passed, and he ordered the coachman to get the coach ready. When the landlord got into it, the coachman asked him, "Where to go, my lord?"
"To the king, to have my head chopped off."
"Whatever for, my lord?"
"Because I cannot answer his 4 questions."
And he told the coachman the whole story about the king's orders. The coachman listened to him and then said, "Let's change clothes, my lord. Get up on my driving seat, and I'll go to the king in your place. If he likes my answers, your rich clothes will be mine, but if he doesn't, I'll have my head chopped off, while you can return to your house." The landlord happily changed clothes and places with the coachman. He dressed himself in the landlord's clothes, went straight to the palace, and bowed in front of the king, who looked at him and asked, "Well, how many guests were there at my wedding party?" The coachman answered, "Your Majesty, at your wedding party there were more people than hairs on your head." The king laughed and asked him the second question. What is the distance from the earth to the sky? Not far, your Majesty. When it rains in the sky, one can hear it from the earth.
The king liked that answer too.
Tell me now, what is the distance between the two ends of the earth? Not far, your Majesty, because the sun rises in the morning at one end and sets in the evening at the other. Now tell me, what am I thinking about?
The coachman answered that question as well.
Your Majesty is thinking, here's a clever landlord who knows how to answer. That's exactly right, said the king in amazement. The coachman told him, but you are wrong, your Majesty. You think that you are speaking with the rich landlord, but you are really speaking with his coachman. If that's true, said the king, from now on you'll be landlord, and the landlord will be your coachman.
The coachman returned to the landlord's house and began a happy, prosperous life because he knew what common sense, care, and hard work meant. New words, inscription, words written on something. To summon, to order someone to come to, or to be present. To wage, to begin and continue a war. Envious, the feeling of wishing to have what somebody else has, or to be like somebody else. To chop off, to cut off part of something with a sharp tool. Prosperous, rich and successful.